last week. Can anybody remember who the composer of the music was? Can you remember? If you're with your carers or with your teachers, whoever you are with, see if you can remember who the composer is. His name was Mr. Remember him? Mr. Ravel, Maurice Ravel. There he is, look. And last week we watched the animation to the music Sleeping Beauty. I asked you to draw a piano. I wonder if anyone drew a piano. Look at that beautiful piano. The music is played on a piano. The whole of the music for Mother Goose is played on a piano. And Sleeping Beauty music we listened to was quiet and slow and peaceful. And we talked about that last week. Well, this week we're going to be thinking about Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb is a story which is really, really well known. It's about a poor farmer and his wife who couldn't have any children. And one day they feed a raggedy beggar. But little did they know that the raggedy beggar was the magician Merlin. And they had no idea. They were just really kind people. So Merlin rewarded them for their kindness with a son. He gave them a little boy. They couldn't have children, and so this was really magical. But the little boy was the size of her husband's thumb. Hold your thumb up. How big is your thumb? My goodness me, that is such a tiny little boy. And the farmer and his wife named their son Tom Thumb, and they tried to protect him from the perils of the world. I wonder what dangers he would face if he was the size of a thumb. Pause this video and have a little chat. What do you think could happen to him? Have you paused and had a chat? Well, his mum and dad, the farmer and his wife, they let him sleep in a matchbox. Can you see? There he is in a matchbox. Wow, little Tom Thumb. Well, Tom Thumb got into many, many dangerous situations. He was baked in a cake. Oh my goodness. He was eaten by a cow. He was whisked away by a crow. He was swallowed by a giant and imprisoned in a mousetrap. Oh my goodness. And that was all because he was so tiny. But with the help of the castle mice, Tom Thumb escaped, and he saved the kingdom from destruction. As a reward, the King Arthur gave Tom all the gold in the world that he wanted to take back to his parents, and he made Tom the smallest knight of the Round Table. So that's the story of Tom Thumb in brief. Okay, so his mum and dad were very kind to a little beggar person. They thought this beggar had got no money, but actually he was a magician Merlin in disguise, and he gave them the desire of their heart, a little boy. And the little boy, the size of a thumb, got into many dangerous situations, can you see? And the end of the story is that he escaped, saved the kingdom, and the king rewarded him with gold. So his family were no longer poor, and Tom was made the smallest knight of the Round Table. Now, when you listen to this music, in a minute you're going to play the video, the music. The music was written for two people on a piano. When two people play together, it's called a duet. If two people sing together, it's called a duet. D-U-E-T, duet. And you can see in my picture a little boy and girl playing the piece together on the piano. One person plays at the one end of the piano, one plays at the top end of the piano. It's called a duet. So when you listen to the music, remember it's two people playing together. Okay, so at the end of my video, I want you to have a watch of the animation Tom Thumb and listen to the music as well. And then I've got a little activity for you. I want you to go and find as many things as you can that you could use as instruments as big as your thumb. I've just had a little hunt and seen a thimble in my sewing box, and while I was there I saw a button, and then I went into the kitchen and found a tiny spoon, and I've made a matchbox, and I have filled the matchbox with lots of tiny things that make a sound, and I'm going to shake my tiny little instruments, my tiny little sound maker, to the music. So see if you can find 3 or 4 little things. You could find 2 little spoons, you might find 1 spoon and a thimble and a button, you might find lots of buttons. And I want you to make little instruments. You might scrape the thimble with a spoon because it's a bit rough on the outside and it will scrape. You might tap 2 buttons together. You might have a plastic cup and tap a cup with a spoon, but I want your instruments to be tiny little Tom Thumb instruments, tiny little sounds. If you're in school and you've got to make tiny sounds, maybe you have got a pencil sharpener in your pot and a tiny little pencil that you could tap your pencil sharpener. But maybe your teacher will let you have a little look around the room at what tiny things there are that you could make sounds with. So you're going to pause the video a minute and go and gather your thumb-sized instruments, and then when you come back, we'll make music. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to do the actions first, and then when it starts again, I'm going to play my matchbox shaker.
Let's put our thumbs in the air and pretend they're Tommy Thumb. Tommy Thumb goes up and Tommy Thumb goes down. Tommy Thumb goes dancing, dancing all. Let's put our thumbs in the air and pretend they're Tommy Thumb. Tommy Thumb goes up and Tommy Thumb goes down. Tommy Thumb goes dancing, dancing all around. Dancing on my shoulders, dancing on my head, dancing on my knees and tuck them into bed. Tommy Thumb goes up and Tommy Thumb goes down. Tommy Thumb goes dancing, dancing dancing all around.
There you go. Did you enjoy that? Well done. So, if I was you now, this is what I'd do. I would draw around my thumb and I'd cut out another thumb out of paper. And then I would decorate it. I'd draw a hat and stick it on my thumb. I'd draw a little jacket with some sleeves and stick it on, and some trousers and some boots, and I would make myself a tiny little Tom Thumb. And if you do that and you've got your instruments at home, maybe you could take a picture and show me the fun that you've been having in your music. Well done, children. Don't forget to watch the video.